And we're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Today is Friday, April 25th, and every team in the major leagues play today, which means we have 5 best bets throughout this entire slate. Now, yesterday sucked, and we started off horribly with the White Sox beating the Twins 3-0. But of course, the first time we take a run line all year long, the game gets rained out. And that means the bet gets voided. So even if you had Twins minus 1.5, you get voided. Sox plus 1.5 because the game only went 7 innings, you get voided as well. It's not like the White Sox had more at-bats than the Twins. They both went to the plate 7 times. That's just how the scoring works for that. It's stupid, but I mean, if you had White Sox money line, shout out to you, but we unfortunately lost that bet. Anyways, the Angels came through, come from behind victory. The rest of the day wasn't too hot. We're going to bounce back today in a big way. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Later today, we'll have our NBA playoff predictions. 3 games today, obviously, headlined by Pacers, Bucks, and Lakers versus Timberwolves. Also, the Celtics play the Magic. So, there's that. And also, make sure to join us for our UFC Fight Night Kansas City full card predictions. Ian Machado Gary and Carlos Prates in the main event this weekend, again, from Kansas City. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets for today. We kick things off with our early game, 11:20 a.m. in Chicago, Illinois. The Chicago Cubs take on the Philadelphia Phillies. We're taking the Cubs. This Phillies team, we said it a couple days ago. We said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. They're lifeless. And this feels like a great spot for Chicago. Afternoon game at Wrigley Field. Yeah, the Cubs should definitely get this. Now, I saw a tweet, and I was very surprised that this was true, but it absolutely is. Guys, the Cubs are 26 games into their season this year, and they don't have to play the Dodgers, Padres, or Diamondbacks again in the regular season. Now, they get another very good team here in the Philadelphia Phillies, and regardless of how the Phillies been playing, this is still a team that I think a lot of people still expect to make the playoffs. They're a talented bunch, obviously. Bryce Harper, again, one of the best players in the sport. They've got a great pitching staff at times as well. So this is another really tough series for Chicago. But this team has remained afloat, even with these difficult series, helped beating the Dodgers in back-to-back games on Tuesday and Wednesday. They're 16-10 on the year. Again, 6 games over 500, and they've played the 3 best teams in the National League. Maybe not the Giants, I guess you could say, they're kind of in there as well. But Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, I mean, right, other than the Mets, those are the best teams in the entire NL. They get the Phillies today. I think the Cubs easily take this one. The Phillies bats are lifeless. They've lost 4 in a row now, dating back to that Miami series. They win the first 2 at home at the bank against the Marlins, then drop the last one in extra innings, and then they go to Citi Field and get swept against the New York Mets. In all fairness, 2 of the 3 games were very competitive, and the Mets barely got by in 2 of those. But in the end, though, the Phillies, again, opportune hitting was lacking in that game. They could never get a big hit in any of those games. It felt like whenever there was a runner in scoring position or just a runner on in general, it felt like the Phillies couldn't find their way to a big hit. Bryce Harper and Trey Turner did not really have a good series, either of them. And really nobody had a great series for Philadelphia. And Christopher Sanchez gets injured in the second game. Now, the Sanchez injury doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as we initially thought it was going to be. But still, this team, I mean, Sanchez is probably going to miss a couple starts. Not going to get to pitch against the Nationals next week, which I'm not going to complain about. Regardless, we're going to miss Aaron Nola, though. Why? Anyways, Phillies, Cubs today. I like Chicago. For the most part, bullpen day for the Cubs. Colin Ray is starting tonight. ERA of 1.32 on the season. He's not going to give you more than 5 innings likely. But he's been solid as an opener all year long for Chicago. It means the Cubs are going to go to their pen, which I'm okay with. The pen has been on rest. Obviously, they did not play yesterday. They beat the Dodgers on Wednesday, and sure, their bullpen had to go a lot in that 2-game set because of how high scoring it was, and hell, even the Diamondback series prior to that as well. I mean, right, the 13-11 victory for the Cubs was crazy at Wrigley Field against the D-backs, but bullpen's on a full day of rest. I'm okay with that. And for the Phillies, it's Taijuan Walker. Now, okay, Taijuan Walker's been surprisingly good this year, 2.29 ERA. He only got blown up in 1 start. It was against the Giants where he went 5 innings and gave up 6 runs. In his other 3 starts, he's given up 1 combined run. It's really weird, but the thing is, it's not like he's pitching with the most swing and miss stuff. The Marlins had 4 innings against him, but only 1 hit, 1 run, and 2 strikeouts. It's just, I don't know. Walker's walking some guys as well. I think it's a pitcher that the Cubs, I think, are going to be able to go after and really dominate today. I personally believe that. Guys, this Chicago team's good. They're really good, right? Ian Happ batting the leadoff spot. Kyle Tucker, this guy is going to get a huge contract in the offseason. Now, how big of a contract he's going to get, I don't know. I mean, I don't expect that, obviously, to be on the Juan Soto level. But guys, Kyle Tucker is going to be, 29 years old this offseason? 28, 29 years old this offseason? He can basically be locked down for the rest of his career. I feel like he's got to get a pretty big contract. I just don't know, is he going to get a Vladdy type deal? Again, it depends on how Kyle Tucker closes the season, obviously. We know this is a one-year deal, basically, with Chicago, and we'll see if the Cubs can re-sign him in the offseason. But, I mean, I wonder, what is the number on Kyle Tucker in the offseason? What is he going to command? We'll see. But I like this Cubs lineup, right? With Kyle Tucker, with a guy like Justin Turner, who, has been struggling, but somehow they bat him third some nights. I don't know why. But you get Dansby Swanson in there, who's been struggling as well. But Michael Busch, Nico Hoerner, and Pete Crow Armstrong, guys. I don't know why that guy's still batting 6/7 for the Chicago lineup. He should be batting, honestly, leadoff. I'm not joking. He should be batting leadoff. The guy's that good. He's elite. Last game against the Dodgers, he goes 3 for 4. He's batting 300, I swear. Every Cubs game I've ever watched this year, Pete Crow Armstrong goes off, and he has huge hits. I don't know, had a hit in their had a home run in their last game. The guy's good. The Cubs are good. I'm taking Chicago here to beat this lifeless Phillies team to kick off the day. Next up, we move to our daily Washington Nationals best bet. Now, the Nationals could not unfortunately finish the sweep against the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, I said I felt so confident in the Nationals winning yesterday, and I did. I just didn't think they were going to be able to score only one run off of Cade Povich and lose the game 2-1. Mackenzie Gore goes 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 runs, and somehow they lose. It's embarrassing. It's just... And I know, you expect them to win every game. No, I don't. But games like that, no, they're supposed to win those. And hey, the Nats are only 3 games out the wild card. Could have been 2.5, but it's okay. Could have been 2. Oh, could have been 2. It's fine. I expect better out that team. Do I think they can beat the Mets today? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. ESPN's matchup predictor has them at a 48.4% chance to win this game, which I appreciate. I hope they do. I think the better bet, though, here, and I was surprised I was getting this line. I was looking at, Nationals hitter props today, but then I see Jake Irvin's strikeout line is 4.5. I don't care how good the Mets lineup is. Jake Irvin's got some pretty good swing and miss stuff. You look at his last 3 starts, and I think this is where maybe the books who haven't watched Jake Irvin a lot this year are confused, so I'll break this down for you. His first 2 starts of the season sucked. I mean, really questioning if Jake Irvin, could still be a sustainable starter in this league. Spring training numbers for Irvin weren't great. His velo was down, and I was really concerned about Jake Irvin to start the season. And his first 2 starts against the Phillies and Diamondbacks detailed exactly what I was concerned about. He got roughed up in both those starts. He goes 5 innings in both of those. Honestly, the Phillies start actually wasn't that bad. He gave up 7 hits for only 2 runs. The D-backs start scared me. Corbin Carroll took him yard twice. It was just, it wasn't great. That next Dodgers start, it started off horribly. 4 runs in the first inning from the Dodgers. However, Irvin bounces back. The Nats actually get him 3 runs in the bottom half of that inning. And Jake Irvin goes on to pitch 5 more innings and not give up a single run. What does he do after that? He goes 7 innings in Pittsburgh at his next start, scoreless, 3 hits. And then his last start against the Rockies, 6 1/3, gives up 2 runs, 9 strikeouts. But again, in those last 3 starts, Dodgers, Pirates, Rockies, Irvin's gone 7, 6, and 9 Ks. He's been good. He's been really good. I think, again, this is a discount line for Jake Irvin, 4.5. Give me the over all day long. I understand. The Mets lineup's great. I completely understand that. They're right now the best team in the National League record-wise. And, I got to watch McNeil today. Oh, God, Jeff McNeil. I don't know why I called him Jake earlier. I got to watch Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil and Brandon Nimmo just piss me off so much. They're just annoying, man. I hope the Nats can snap the 7-game win streak, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's no team in baseball I hate more than the New York Mets. You might think, maybe that's the Phillies, because Bryce Harper's there, and Trey Turner, and Schwarber, for that matter. Or maybe it's the Braves, because, they've tortured us before in the National League East. When I was growing up as a kid, right, it was usually the Braves and the Nationals. No, I hate the Mets. I hate their fans. Now, again, if you're a Mets fan, I don't dislike you. I'm just saying, I don't know. On the internet, on Twitter, Mets fans just piss me off, and Juan Soto doesn't help. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know. Playing at Citi Field just gives me bad vibes. I don't know what to say. Regardless, though, this team's good. I'm not gonna discount that. Do I still think they might choke the NL East? Maybe. I don't know. I was originally thinking the Phillies were going to win this division, but then I brought up a couple days ago that maybe they should sell. They should just tear it down. Will they do that? Probably not. But I don't know. I'm not too confident in the Phillies honestly winning the division right now, so maybe it will be the New York Mets, which is great. They can just lose in the playoffs. I don't know. The Dodgers will get them again, which I hated watching that series because I hate both those teams. But regardless, right, Lindor's great. Alonso's really good. Again, is Pete Alonso going to keep the 341 average? No, he's not, right? Pete Alonso, that's just not what he does. But it's a great sign early. Lindor has been hitting the ball very well. I'm not impressed with Juan Soto, I can tell you that. And guys, the Mets in their last game struck out 14 times against the Phillies. I get it was an extra inning game, but still, Zach Wheeler goes 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. Does Jake Irvin have the swing and miss stuff Zach Wheeler does? No. But it's not that much worse. Guys, people forget, Jake Irvin, by the way, last year Jake Irvin on the 4th of July went 8 innings of scoreless baseball against the Mets. He left the game a 0-0 tie. Jesse Winker, now a New York Met, hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th. Got Jake Irvin the win, and the Nationals won 1-0 on the 4th of July. And then Jesse Winker gets traded to the New York Mets, just, of course. Anyways, that's just, Jake Irvin pitches really well against this team. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he struck out Jeff McNeil multiple times on the 4th of July, so that should be funny to watch. I don't dislike Brandon Nimmo as a person. I just hate his sprint to first base after he walks. It just annoys me because you give up a walk to this guy, and there he is running down the first baseline. It annoys me. I don't dislike the person. I just watching him play baseball though, it really angers me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure he's a great human being though. I wouldn't know. I assume he is. Anyways, we're taking Jake Irvin over 4.5 strikeouts. Next up, Nerfy of the day. We've been ice cold with these, I'm not gonna lie. So we're going to the biggest lock I can find today. Sometimes I'll stay away from minus 140s because you gotta lay money on this. But hey, we laid a minus 140 yesterday with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and they came out victorious against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So today, we're going minus 140 on the Nerfy. Don't care. We're going with, I think, one that kind of has to hit. Rays, Padres. I would be lying to you if I wasn't a little bit concerned about Tatis taking Shane Baz's yard. I'm not going to lie. I think Michael King gets through this fairly easily. We know how good Michael King can be. High strikeout guy. 2 starts ago, he went full shutout, 9 innings against the Colorado Rockies. His last start against the Astros wasn't his best start, but again, Michael King's got some really good swing and miss stuff. 3-0 record on the year, 31 strikeouts, 2.57 ERA. He's good. He's not Mackenzie Gore's strikeout level of good. Anyways, I digress. Michael King will get us the 3 outs. I feel fairly confident in that. The Rays had a very fun series that they just played in Arizona, right? Took 2 games off the D-backs, 2 extra inning games off of the Diamondbacks. Really just chaotic baseball games. I mean, those were fun to watch, I'm not going to lie. And it showed me something out of Tampa Bay that I really didn't know they had. I mean, down 3-0 early in that game yesterday against the D-backs. They come fighting back, and really, I didn't think they were going to be able to keep up, hit for hit with Arizona, but at the same time, I mean, the Diamondbacks bullpen is going to be the death of them this season. Are they a playoff team? I don't think so. I just don't think that bullpen's going to be able to take them all that far. But it is interesting, right? They're a really fun group of bats. But as always, right? I mean, the bats are great for them, and the pitching's just but I was surprised Tampa Bay was really able to keep up this entire series. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think they were going to be able to. In the first inning, though, today, it's going to be Michael King versus likely Yandy Diaz, Brendan Lau, and then Aranda, and then Caminero in the 4. Caminero's batted 2nd and 4th for this team, and then you just flop him in low. I don't know. Cameron Meisner, by the way, Meisner, also batting fairly high. I mean, you might see him in the 4. Christopher Morel hit a huge 2-run home run in the 10th inning to give them that 3-run lead. Maybe he's batting in the 4. I don't know. Kevin Cash kind of switches up the lineup to the best of my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Michael King's solid enough to get us 3 outs. I'm really not concerned about that, right? Tampa Bay, slow starting team, didn't score their first run of the 5th inning yesterday. I think we're okay there. The one that does get a little concerning is Shane Baz versus the Padres, considering Shane Baz's last start, right? It's a game where the Rays ultimately win at 10-8 against the Yankees, but it goes 10 innings, and Baz was not that good. 3 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, 1 home run, 4 walks. But then he shows starts where he's great. The start before that against the Boston Red Sox, he goes 6 innings, 11 Ks, and 1 run. Right? His first start of the year, I get it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, but 6 innings, 7 hits, 0 runs, 10 strikeouts, right? I think Shane Baz is solid. Now, again, the Padres bats are going to scare me a little bit, but this is a team that is coming off a shutout loss in Detroit. And honestly, a series where they did not look that good against the Tigers. And that's what Detroit's going to do to you, right? The Padres lost two of three over there. They're still a team that's 9 games over 500. But in their last game against the Tigers, right, Reese Olson goes 7 1/3, gives up 2 hits and 0 runs, right? We'll see, right? I mean, we know the top of this lineup is good. Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, Gavin Sheets is batting pretty high in the lineup as well. I think Shane Baz is good enough, though. Again, we're relying on 2 really good pitchers to get us through this one, and that's ultimately, again, what I like to do with the Nerfies. I try to rely on the better pitchers. I don't really care who's in the lineup for the other team. I feel like the pitcher, again, should be able to get us 3 outs, especially at the beginning of the game, right? The Padres are coming off a game where they got shut out and only had 2 hits against the Detroit Tigers, and both those hits were Jose Iglesias. I think we're okay here. Michael King, Shane Baz here at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Get us 6 outs and get us through this Nerfie, and let's break our cold spell here with the Nerfies to kick off games. Again, Tampa Bay versus San Diego at Petco. Give us the Nerfie. Next up, we move to our 4th best bet of the day. It is our best player prop of the day. We go to Sacramento, California for the Sacramento A's versus the Chicago White Sox. My first ever Sacramento Athletics game. I will be attending this tonight. Tyler Soderstrom. We're going with the over 1.5 on hits, runs, and RBI. Again, minus 115. We can get this with one swing of the bat. We can get this with a single home run. Or again, we can get it through various other things. But again, the easiest way for Soderstrom to hit this line for us is via a long ball. Now, yesterday, Soderstrom hit this line. 2 RBI, was able to do it. He had, I believe, 2 RBI, 2 hits, and a run, if I'm not mistaken, against the Rangers. The guy's solid. He really is. Again, this is one of the guys, he's tied for first in the MLB for home runs, tied with Corbin Carroll, if I'm not mistaken. He had a little dry spell at the end of that Brewers series and at the start of the Rangers series, but in the last 2 games of this set against Texas, he was able to come through. The only game where he didn't put runs on the board was against Patrick Corbin. He didn't record a single stat against Patrick Corbin, but that's lefty-lefty. He's going to get Sean Burke tonight, who's a righty, who I have really praised this White Sox pitching staff a lot, right? I really praised the starting rotation. We said it yesterday. We got royally screwed with the damn spread, but Shane Smith was excellent, right? That guy goes, 6 scoreless innings? I told you, I really like some of those guys in the rotation. Shane Smith, I like Jonathan Cannon a lot. Like, the Sox might not be great, but yesterday was a perfect read against the Twins, and we just got shafted on the +1.5. I'm still pissed about that. It's annoying. It's just dumb. Those are the rules. Why don't spreads count but money lines do? I mean, they should just both count at that point. We had plus runs in the White Sox. It doesn't make sense because you still win the bet if they win. It's so dumb. But at the same time, then a Twins -1.5 better, which is a horrible bet, won yesterday. Actually, on paper, that's not a horrible bet. Again, it's not like that was like a -200 bet, but it doesn't make sense to me. It's just dumb. Anyways, Sean Burke's going to be serving meatballs this entire game. This guy has given up runs in every single start he's had this season except for that Angels start on opening day. Again, Sean Burke had a lot of, I don't know about a lot. He did have some hype coming into the season, at least with the very few White Sox fans that were optimistic this year. He just hasn't been good, let's be honest. He hasn't had a start since opening day where he hasn't given up at least 3 runs, and the game where he gave up 3 runs was against the Guardians, and that was only a 3-inning outing for him. Other than that, you look at the Twins start, 4 1/3, 6 runs. A's start, 3 1/3, 5 runs. Red Sox start, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. I believe Soderstrom's a 1 for 3 career against Sean Burke when he saw him the first time around. I'm okay with that. Again, second time seeing the pitcher here from the White Sox. Games in Sacramento this time. The original matchup between the White Sox and A's obviously this year was in Chicago. So I think this should benefit Soderstrom a lot. Guys batting .283 in the season, 9 home runs, 19 RBI. They put him in a position, obviously, right in the middle of the lineup where he's going to be able to knock guys in. And I really like the spot for him personally. Again, Soderstrom's very talented. He's in the 3 spot. He's batting behind Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, right? And even when he gets on base, right, the guys behind him are Shea Langoliers, who, can hit from some pop, obviously, right? I mean, that's going to be a potential Soderstrom, run. JJ Bleday, Nick Kurtz, we're still waiting on him, but, I mean, Kurtz had a hit in his first game, right? Goes 0 for 2 yesterday. The A's platoon a lot, so you're going to see that, but one of the guys they're not going to platoon is Tyler Soderstrom, so we know he's going to get as many at-bats as possible. Hit a 2 for 4 day yesterday. I fully expect Tyler Soderstrom to get over on this hits, runs, and RBI line of 1.5. And on top of that, the A's have some momentum, right? They win the series against the Rangers after dropping the first one. They win the next 2. The A's are only 1 game under 500, and yesterday they had the Jacob Wilson walk-off hit. So, I think the A's, they're building something here in Sacramento, right? NorCal, stand up, I guess. Let's go A's. I'm taking Tyler Soderstrom here over on 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. We move on to our final best bet of the day, and we go to our final money line of the day. Back to fading the San Francisco Giants. Okay. I don't have anything against the Giants. I really don't. I just think, and we have picked against San Francisco a lot, and it hasn't always gone our way. I understand that. They're a 17-9 team, and I'll say it again. This might, bite me in the ass when maybe they beat the Rangers today, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're still overperforming. I really think they are. They're really carried by their starting pitching, I believe, and I don't think that's a crazy take to have. Yes, their bats, show up in spots. I understand that. Yaz and, Jung-Hoo Lee have been excellent. Well, Jung-Hoo Lee's playing like one of the best outfielders in the sport right now. But you just have guys up and down this lineup that just aren't impressive. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm going to look at guys like Lamont Wade, who's batting .094, who, obviously had to hit the game that we bet against the Giants. But anyways, that was an RBI. But regardless, right, they're still, some nights they're going to play Huff, and then obviously Bailey's going to, play as well. They're Gold Glover behind the dish. Luis Matos is just mid, right? Elliot Ramos hasn't really gotten going yet this year. But again, you can look at this team and say, all right, their pitching's good. They're going to keep them in games. Now, yesterday, right, it was a big rally for the Giants. They were down 5-2. Chapman hits a home run. They just start loading the bases in the 8th inning. Sacrifice fly from Willie Adames ultimately won them that game. Regardless, though, we can usually point to the Giants and say, okay, great. Their pitching is going to keep them in this, and their pitching is going to give them a great opportunity, right? Even again, they gave up 5 runs yesterday, but whatever, right? I don't think they're going to be able to overcome deficits like that in back-to-back games. And on top of that, I don't trust Justin Verlander against a Rangers lineup that can swing it. Now, they are very off and on. I completely understand that, right? That first game against the A's series that we talked about earlier, they look great, right? Marcus Semien hits a home run, who, by the way, got injured, but he's back now. Wyatt Langford's ripping the ball. Corey Seager as well is having great games. I understand that, right? I guess I'll just bring up Jock Peterson right now. Jock Peterson finally got off the schneid. He had a hit. Great. But what, he's 0.66 now? God, why are they still batting him in the 3? I get it. Corey Seager's out, right? I think it's a hamstring or it's an oblique. It's an injury for Corey Seager. He's not going to play. He's on the IL, if I'm not mistaken. We look at like Josh Smith, who's batting 333, Wyatt Langford batting 321, and then Justin Verlander's pitching for the Giants. I mean, are the Rangers really going to let Justin Verlander beat them in the big 2025? I don't think so. I mean, dude, JV's pitching 5.47 this year in the ERA, coming off his last start, which is probably one of his, actually, it was by far his best start as, wearing that Giants uniform. 6 innings pitched against the Angels, 2 hits, 1 run. Prior to that, though, man, he's been blown up in every start he's had. The Cincinnati start wasn't that bad, but the Mariners start wasn't great. Definitely wasn't good in the second Cincinnati start in SF, and the Phillies start, he got bombed on, right? Verlander's given up a home run in every single game he's pitched so far, with the exception of that second game against the Reds, where, oh, by the way, he gave up 6 runs in that one. Yeah, the strikeouts were high. He had 9 of them there, but ultimately, again, I feel confident in the Rangers lineup, finding ways to get on base against Justin Verlander and really just producing throughout the lineup. And for Texas, I mean, tonight they will be pitching Nathan Eovaldi, who I think we can all say is much better than Justin Verlander, right? Eovaldi has given up 3 runs in each of his last 3 starts, but regardless, though, Eovaldi's still pretty solid. 2.64 ERA in the season. That doesn't tell the entire story, obviously, because that ERA is aided by the fact that he went 9 innings against the Reds in a 1-0 victory in his second start of the season. But anyways, I do think Eovaldi's still really solid, and Eovaldi will be pitching with a pitcher's park behind him, obviously, in San Francisco, so I think that will really benefit him too, and I just don't think there's many guys in this lineup that can hurt you. Again, yes, I feel like I always say that about the Giants, and they can surprise you, obviously, but it's Yaz, it's Jung-Hoo Lee, it's Matt Chapman. it's Adames sometimes, and it's going to be Wilmer Flores actually randomly always finding a way to a clutch hit. But I trust in Nathan Eovaldi today. I think Eovaldi is obviously a much better pitcher than JV. I think the Rangers lineup, again, should be able to find hits against this dinosaur, and I'm taking the Rangers to get things done here at Oracle Park in San Francisco. We look at the line. The Rangers are the dogs here at -105. We're going to take them here. Again, not plus money, but still with underdog money. Giants coming back at you at -115. I'm okay with it. Give me the Rangers even without their star shortstop and Corey Seager. I think they're able to find a way to win. Bonus points if either Marcus Semien or Jock Peterson, who have been struggling mightily, find a way on base in this game. But even without those guys, I think the other 7 can come through, especially though I'm looking at guys like Josh Smith and Wyatt Langford, and hell, even in Adolis Garcia to come through as well. So folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here on April 25th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets and with our NBA predictions later today. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.